Now we're going to talk to Nick Nyhart. He's the president and CEO of Public Campaign. Nick, welcome to the Young Turks.
Thank you very much. Glad to be on, Cenk.
Thank you for coming on with us. Now, I want to talk to you about Citizens United versus FEC. Can you tell the audience what that is?
Sure. It's a case that is pending in the Supreme Court, and a decision is expected any time. Sort of the reform community in D.C. has been on pins and needles, and I think elected officials have too, because the case has the potential to change the way money flows in politics. At stake in the case, immediately at stake, is a movie about Hillary Clinton that was out during the campaign season in 2008 that portrayed her in unflattering terms, and it was funded partly with corporate money. And the question was raised, is this is just a form of political advertising that is subject to campaign finance laws, or is it a real movie? And the case was made that this should be regulated as a piece of campaign literature subject to the laws of campaign regulation and not an independent film. And that's what's at stake. And what could come up, because the Supreme Court in its argument and requests of the warring parties here said, let's look back at a case decided in the early 1990s, the Austin case Austin versus Michigan Chamber of Commerce, which was about how much money or how corporations can fund politics. And so by saying, let's look back to this other case and see how that applies here, many people think that the Citizens United case could open the door for the expansion of the ways in which corporate money can flow into campaigns. And many people think it's likely that the court will remove restrictions on the ability of corporations to directly engage in independent expenditure campaigns. In other words, they can take their own corporate treasury money and run ads that directly support candidates or go against them.
Nick, would that apply to giving money directly to the candidates, or would it only apply to the ads they could run in favor or against the candidate?
Well, it looks like, I think, and what most people feel is the furthest they would go right now is to run those independent expenditure campaigns that support somebody or go against somebody. Most people don't believe the court is ready to do away with the prohibition on direct corporate giving to candidates. But, you look at the healthcare debate, the fight on financial regulation that's going on, the climate change issue, and in all those cases, you get the feeling that lawmakers are looking over their shoulder thinking, how does this vote affect my fundraising? Now, if you imagine if this case comes down and it opens up and relaxes corporate regulation on what they can do with their money, people are going to be saying, someone might dump $1 million into my race if I vote wrong on this. And that's sure to have an impact on Congress. If the court goes that way, it's going to take the things that people already don't like about Washington, D.C., and make them worse. We're going to have gridlock, more negative ads, and the big special interest lobbyists having much more power even than they do right now.
If you think corporate America controls the politicians too much now, wait till you get a load of them when they can spend unlimited money on the campaigns. So,
that's right. It's going to take an untenable situation and make it worse.
But that might ironically help a little bit, Nick, because then politicians might say, no mas, we can't take this. And the people, because if this plays out, they've already captured 90% of the government. They're going to capture 100% of the government. But there is someone fighting back. Real quick, tell me about Representative Larson's proposal.
Sure. Representative John Larson from Connecticut is running the Fair Elections Bill in the House of Representatives with quite a bit of help from Representative Shelley Pingree from Maine. Both of them come from states that have adopted a new system of campaign financing. In those states, candidates raise a large number of small contributions and augment that with public financing to be able to run a competitive race. And in both states, roughly 80% of the candidates use a public financing system to run, which means they take no big contributions from lobbyists. They have a bill that would apply that same system to Congress, and it has about 125 official backers now, and the number has been growing rapidly. And I think you're right. If this case does come down, as many people expect, lawmakers are going to be saying, I already have a hard enough time raising money. What happens if I need to raise enough money so I can counterattack if I'm attacked by independent expenditures? So an alternative system which says you're going to be able to be competitive financially by raising lots of small contributions from people in your state, I think that's far superior, and lawmakers will say, I'd opt for that system than being subject to, well, let me put it this way. If you have only the current system, it means you get bashed by people for your votes, by big money interests for your votes. And if you need more money to combat that, where do you go? Well, you have to go right back to those same moneyed interests. So it's really an untenable situation, not just for the voters, but if this court decision plays out as many think it might, it's an untenable situation for lawmakers also. And in a way, this court decision, if it goes poorly, may be the boost that reform efforts need to see real change.
Nick, what were those two states again?
The two states that, two of the several states that have an operation are Maine and Connecticut. There's also a system, very similar system in Arizona, and in those three states, they're for all state-based offices. And in New Mexico and North Carolina and several other states, it applies to just a small group of offices. So, for instance, in Wisconsin this year, they passed a similar system for judicial races. Portland, Oregon has a system like this, and so does Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All right. Nick Nyhart, President and CEO of Public Campaign, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.